think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
Listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo responded to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight proposal by cautioning that Crawford would actually beat him. He admitted that Crawford is the superior fighter at this stage and fully deserves recognition for what he's accomplished. Canelo described Terence as incredible, highlighting his timing and overall skill. According to him, Crawford has shown his ability across multiple weight divisions, and both fans and analysts should acknowledge his greatness. He has earned respect throughout the boxing world.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do. Right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Garage Hackett shared his thoughts on Canelo's remarks about Terence Crawford, drawing attention to the difference between Canelo's own defeat to Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's later win over him. Hackett noted that when Canelo fought Mayweather at just 23, he was still developing and didn't yet have the experience or polish he has today. On the other hand, Crawford went up against Canelo after he had already established himself as the face of boxing and one of its most skilled champions. According to Hackett, that's what makes Crawford's victory so impressive. It came against Canelo at his peak, not the younger and less experienced version who lost to Mayweather.
Heard that. What I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23. I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit, though, for beating Canelo. And Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
Joe Rogan was stunned by Terence Crawford's triumph over Canelo Alvarez. He emphasized how remarkable it was for Crawford to jump up 2 weight divisions at the age of 37, something almost unheard of in boxing history. Rogan pointed out that no fighter at such an advanced stage of their career has ever stepped up and beaten an opponent of Canelo's level, which makes this accomplishment truly historic. To him, it wasn't just another victory, it was a defining moment that showcased Crawford's brilliance and cemented his status as one of the sport's all-time greats.
It's like you're watching, like, wow, towards the end, towards the final rounds, it really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something
he's
really
30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I could barely go bowling.
Pauli Malignaggi shared his thoughts on the ongoing debate over who stands as the greater fighter, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford. He pointed out that debates like this can never truly be settled, since both men belong to different eras with unique challenges. Malignaggi explained that while it's an intriguing discussion for fans and analysts, it's ultimately endless, as each fighter has a strong case for greatness. He acknowledged Mayweather's perfect record and legendary career, while also praising Crawford for dominating across multiple weight classes and defeating top-tier opponents. In Malignaggi's view, it's the very debate itself that keeps boxing thrilling, even if a final answer may never come.
Tough 154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Timothy Bradley shared a strong take, claiming that Terence Crawford has all the tools needed to beat Floyd Mayweather. Bradley explained that Crawford combines intelligence, adaptability, power, and refined technique in a way that could neutralize Floyd's legendary defense. He argued that Crawford's ability to make adjustments on the fly, along with his precise timing, would pose serious problems for Mayweather, even at his peak. Bradley's comments highlighted his deep respect for Crawford's abilities and his belief that the Omaha star deserves to be mentioned among boxing's all-time greats. In his eyes, Crawford isn't just talented, he has the qualities to surpass even fighters once thought unbeatable.
The GOAT, oh absolutely, but Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's going to reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He going to reach with that right hand against Crawford? He going to get slept reaching with that backhand the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? No, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't going to work. That is not going to work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
Some voices in boxing believe that if Terence Crawford truly wants to surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he should take on a massive challenge against Dmitry Bivol. Known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight, Bivol is seen as the kind of opponent who could push Crawford's legacy to an entirely new level. Critics argue that defeating Bivol would set Crawford apart from Mayweather, proving he can overcome a prime, bigger, and highly technical fighter. A victory like that, they claim, would silence any remaining doubts and establish Crawford as boxing's ultimate historical figure, accomplishing feats beyond even what Mayweather achieved.
Let's see Bivol, Bud, next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
Reports suggest that Terence Crawford is setting his sights on making history by chasing a 6th world title across different weight divisions, an achievement reached by only a select few in boxing. Already celebrated for conquering several weight classes and beating top-level opponents, Crawford's drive to push even further highlights his relentless hunger to challenge himself at every stage. The possibility of him moving up to middleweight has stirred major excitement throughout the boxing community, as it would mean entering the 160-pound division against naturally bigger and stronger fighters.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
Adding even more intrigue to the conversation, Janibek liminally has publicly thrown down a challenge to Terence Crawford, daring him to step up to middleweight and not shy away. The unbeaten champion, whose reputation continues to rise, views this as a chance to secure a career-defining showdown against one of boxing's modern greats. For Crawford, taking on such a fight would not only add to his legacy but also give him the opportunity to prove his dominance in yet another weight division. Whether this clash actually happens or not, the possibility alone has sparked heated debate among fans and analysts, making Crawford's next move one of the most anticipated storylines in the sport.
He faced at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns. That's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
An analyst recently revisited the story of Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last man to hand Terence Crawford a loss back in the amateur days. He pointed out that beating Crawford now would demand extraordinary preparation and skill, much like the way fighters once viewed Floyd Mayweather at the height of his career. The analyst emphasized that Crawford has evolved into one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport, blending sharp defense with pinpoint offense. Just as Mayweather's style left opponents frustrated for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of near invincibility. His ability to adapt on the fly, avoid damage, and land with precision makes him the kind of opponent who forces rivals to prepare endlessly just to stand a chance.
Beat Terence Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. I mean, as I remember, that's exactly what I did. You know, Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think
Because,
I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer, shared his perspective on the win over Canelo Alvarez. He described the fight as relatively straightforward for Crawford, stressing that their preparation had covered every possible scenario. Bomac also addressed the ongoing criticism about Crawford's career decisions, noting how fans and analysts are always suggesting who they think he should fight. When Crawford doesn't follow those suggestions, accusations of ducking quickly surface. But Bomac dismissed that narrative, insisting that Crawford is focused on carving out his own path, not living up to other people's expectations. He argued that Crawford's legacy should be measured by the success he's consistently delivered inside the ring, not by outside voices.
Absolutely, but they're probably thinking the way we were all thinking that just because of the weight he should be okay because he's the naturally bigger man. But someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the
now.
argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because he hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, which really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweights. So he's ducking the 140-pounder. No, he's not ducking them. He's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way because that's the way I wanted to go.
Tony Jeffries weighed in on the debate by reflecting on the unique qualities that made Floyd Mayweather nearly untouchable in his era. He explained that Mayweather's brilliance went far beyond defense. It was his footwork, timing, and ability to outmaneuver opponents that truly set him apart. According to Jeffries, Floyd's movement was close to flawless, often leaving even elite fighters frustrated. He also reminded fans that Mayweather faced and defeated a long list of legends throughout his career, further cementing his greatness. Jeffries' comments highlighted that while Crawford's achievements are outstanding, Mayweather's career still stands as one of the most decorated and technically exceptional in boxing history.
But if you study Floyd closely, like I have, you will notice that he never wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches, then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because you might agree with me, but without good feet, nothing else matters.
All right, that wraps it up for today's video. Don't forget to stay tuned for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.